All right, man. What's good? What's good? What's good? All right, let's get it going, man. Let's get it going. Late today, but we gonna do it. We gonna do it. We gonna do it. Mike Big Boxing was good. Hard man, what's going on, man? Gravy Davy, what's good? Eugene Williams, what's going on, my man? Michael James, 616. D 215-519. What's going on, man? Mark, main event Mark, what's going on with you, sir? Saying salute to the mighty LDBC Ken folks. Yes, sir. Bert from Mardican, what's going on, man? Peace to you. Jay Good in the building. What's going on, man? Angry Brit, man. It's good to see you, sir. Drink more water says happy Jason Voorhees all day. What up? What's good? Drink more water. Shout out to you and King Terrence Crawford. Toot Robinson, man. I'm good, man. I'm good. You know, good. Can't complain, man. How are you? I hope all is well with you. King Corleone, salute to you, man. Craig L, what's going on, man? Star City J, what's happening? Yeah, good afternoon. Is it afternoon? Yeah, you out there. Yeah, I want to say morning. It started as a morning show. It generally just gradually shifted to afternoon. Antonio Mendoza, what's going on, man? Toot Robinson, what's happening? Bert from Artican, what's going on, man? Jay Cooley, what's good, man? CVP Jr., what's going on, man? Yeah, hey, it's good. Salute to you again, Toot Robinson. Matthew Valentine, what's going on, man? Trick Noty in the building, what's good? Emmanuel Joseph Bain, what's going on, man? Earl Taylor, Bert from it says noon for you East Coasters. Man, it's 12:34. It's 11:34 my time, man. It's just wow, man. Things drift over time, man. But it wound up working out for my work that the show moved up into the noon time frame. Allows me to get a lot of work done in the morning. It said we're rolling in for the Don. What's going on, man? Justin March, much love in that super chat, man. Mr. Vegas, what's good, man? Brother, Northern Cali, man, it's early morning out there. Ricky Williams in Northern Cali. What is it, like 9:44 out there? 12:44 East Coast. Yeah, man. Let me go and see if I can. I know it's too late to me to change it to say afternoon boxing talk. But you're right. It needs to be afternoon. I forget, man. I'm Central Time, so I always think that it's the morning, but it's not the morning. It's the afternoon out there. Yeah, that's kind of ass backwards, man. It's getting cold. Oh man, Richard Simmons, you out there? Richard Smith. I said Richard Simmons, man. My bad. Mr. Vegas said it's still morning for me. Yep, it's 11:44 in Texas. 12:44. You must, James Wesley. You must be out in the Outkeep. So the title fits. Yeah, it fits for you. It don't fit for half the country though. Yeah, I'll get it out of there, man. Because honestly, man, you know, I changed it back to morning boxing talk because there used to be this guy who would have the stream, and every time I would name the stream something, this dude would come on around the same time and use the same name for the stream. So I was just like, shit, I got to change my name. I just got to change the name to my screen. Richard, yeah, my bad, man. I called him Richard Simmons. My bad, man. But let's get into it, man. Let's get into it, man. Daniel Jacobs, man. Daniel Jacobs splits up with Andre Rozier over money. Man, that shows a real lack of character, man, in Danny Jacobs. But honestly, man, I suspected the guy had a kind of a fake ass. He was kind of a phony because he wore a Jerry curl and he was always too happy. And I just generally, what's going on, Black Magic OG? Generally speaking, you know, I don't trust dudes that I feel like they got to do something different to their hair. Yeah, man, that's disgusting. That's disgusting, man. You came up big, you made big money, and you looked at your check. You're like, damn, I'm paying this dude $1 million. Why would I pay this dude $1 million? That's way more than he earned for doing the same thing before. But it's the same thing, but you would never got where you got without that, man. Jay Cooley, much love in the super chat, man. Says salute, Bud and Sean got the same retirement plan called Arrow Spins. Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see, man. Oh, by the way, man, happy 30th 300 show to Trill Boxing Talk. I didn't get to really catch it till right about the end. So, man, congratulations, man. You guys doing a terrific job. Matthew Valentine for 9. Didn't Jacobs tell Jamal Charlo I'm getting M's? Yeah, man, because he had signed with the Zone at the time, man. But it's hard to write. I can't imagine. Hey, man, it's hard to write a check for $1 million, man. And I've seen other, what's going on BNB Boxing? I've seen other people get real selfish with money. Real selfish with money, man. It'll change you. You know what I mean? It'll change you. Or it'll not change you. It'll show what you do when you don't have to, when you don't need somebody. You know what I mean? Somebody's true character will come out a lot of times. What's going on, David Scott? A lot of people will they'll change once they don't need you anymore. And that's something I think people, especially when you help people come on or you start working with somebody when they're young, a lot of times, man, people will put on a face or, they'll really want to be on your team when they need you. But the test is what happens when they don't need you anymore? When they get to where they need to go and they feel like they're your equal and they start looking at you like you've diminished and they mistake your help with them coming up with you having been diminished. And I can't say that's what the case is for Daniel Jacobs, but I think, and the times that I've experienced that, man, it's been a little bit like that, man. Yeah, they'll kick you to the curb, man. I mean, that's a lot of times what men do to their wives. When you're doing well or when you're doing well, or actually when you meet her and you're in college and, you guys are both struggling and trying to find your way, trying to get your career going on, trying to figure out where you're getting in life and you're both aspiring to something, you guys can be partners because you have a mutually beneficial relationship. You're trying to do something. She's helping you try to do something. She feels like she's working with you to help you become better. You're with her because, you love her and she's helping you get better. And then as soon as people, and it could be a female, I suppose, get to the situation where they feel as if they don't need the person anymore or the amount of value that they're giving, then they reevaluate and they say, man, I can find somebody else to do this for less. You know what I mean? I can find another woman that's going to be with me and I can hire an accountant to help me, pay my bills and do that type of stuff. Why do I need all this nagging from you? And then, then they feel like, they made it, they leave, they change. I mean, and this is something I'll tell you, man, about Floyd Mayweather Jr. As much as people want, as much as we I see you, Gravy Davy, man. I think I'm going to read that comment as soon as I get to it. As much as we talk about Floyd Mayweather Jr. and the things that Floyd Mayweather Jr. has done outside the ring, some people have issues with what he's done inside the ring. Floyd has been very loyal to the people that have been around him on his team. From Roger, from his father, who he had falling out with, to Roger, who I'm sure he's helping in his, and I certainly hope that Roger Mayweather makes a recovery. I miss him talking, you don't know shit about boxing. But, the dedication that he's had to Leonard Ellerbe, he could have got rid of Leonard Ellerbe a long time ago and brought somebody else in there who had more, classical experience with running a promotional company, but he stayed true to Leonard Ellerbe. I'm quite sure he insists that people stay loyal to him as well. But that's one thing that I've noticed with Floyd Mayweather Jr. It's also something that you can say about Sean Porter and Kenny Porter. Sean Porter stayed loyal to his father. It's another reason why I think that Tyson Fury's a piece of shit. The dude fired his uncle on his comeback. The dude fired his uncle and went with this guy, Ben Davidson. Deontay Wilder helps him out by giving him a shot at the title when he doesn't deserve it. What does he do to Deontay Wilder? he flips a script on Deontay Wilder. He flips the script on Deontay Wilder, right? And now he's out there talking all kind of shit about him. You know, just kind of a piece of shit type of dude, man. Gravy Davy, Fanon, you look deeper into a person's character during the times of prosperity rather than adversity. Yeah, that's true. You don't have a choice. You just don't have a choice. That you have to deal when you're in a time when you're struggling, you have to, you gotta get what you can get, man. You gotta get what you can get. People also change when big money gets involved. Yeah, they do. They do. But there's a lot more influences. There's a lot more people that are talking to you. I'll leave that. I'll say, yep, Tyson Fury is a whole out. Yeah, he is, man. Hey, man, thank you, Jay Cooley. He said, just want to thank you for your time every day and the other LDBC channels. Y'all really bring peace and calmness throughout the day. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, fam. Hey, man, it's all good, man. Much love in that super chat. Yeah, man, we've been doing it for a long time, man. It's been it's a grind, man. It's a grind in just setting it up and doing it. But once you start talking, man, man, I'm gonna tell you, man, I really do very much appreciate you guys for coming by the chat. I do. I had a little bit of experience yesterday on I won't explain it, man, but shout out to my dudes. You know who I'm talking about, man. I just went by. I was listening to a live stream the other day, man, and I went in and I listened. And I listened for a long time, but a lot of people, of course, you don't know of the 147 people in here who are actually listening, to the chat. But I was listening to a chat. I listened to a lot of chats, man. Jesse Kuma, much love in that. I listen to a lot of people in their live streams, in passing when I can. And I just saw, man, these dudes really hated the LDBC, man. Really hated the LDBC. And there was a cat who from the LDBC that was supposed to be on the channel. And when he was on the channel, somebody who was a moderator on that channel kicked him, did something to him, timed him out or something like that. So he wound up getting off the channel and he didn't have this debate that was scheduled. But I didn't know about what was going on until I was on his live stream, and they referred me back to the issue. They brought the issue up. So I went back to the channel. It was a British channel. I listened to it. And I recognized a whole lot of people in the chat. And it was just the tone that these guys had was that they were just drooling at the prospect of having been able to attack somebody from the LDBC on one of their channels. What's going on, man, Eric Adams? Man, these guys were literally drooling at the mouth. I mean, if you could see people in the comment section drooling, they would have all had little drooling emojis because they're like, oh, God, I was going to get him. We were going to get him. And this guy kicked him off the channel. We had him set up. We had him. And so I was like, wow, man, that's how it is out there. That's how much y'all are hurting. And I know some of you guys know what I'm talking about because some of y'all ear sluts. We like my man Black Fight Fan TV says, shout out to Black Fight Fan TV and my man Seneca J said, Fanada, you're calm today. Are you okay? Yeah, man, I'm good. I was just reading a book, man. I just read a book that made me sad. Okay. You want to know why I'm kind of settled? It's because I was reading a book. I was listening to Black Fight Fan TV and Trill Boxing Talk on Trill Boxing Talk. And I was listening to the conversation that was going on about rap music. And it really made me sad. Because I'm in the midst of I'm not reading a book. I'm too lazy to read this book. I got to do it when I'm exercising. But there's a book. Let me pull it up. There's a book called The Whole Mind. The Whole Mind, Why Right-Brainers Will Rule the Future. And it is by an author. What the fuck is this dude's name? Henry something or other is the author of this book. Right? And it just made me think, every time I was listening to this, I was thinking, right brainers will rule the world. If black people could take advantage of this shit is some shit you can run a fucking touchdown on. It's something you could drop. Let me explain the concept to you, man. And a lot of time, man, I don't feel like, that's why I do boxing like this, man, because intellectual subjects make me sad. Listening to rap music makes me sad. Like, the fact that there's music out there that will cause somebody to get up and go kill somebody, on one hand is sad. On the other hand, it's a testament to the power of music and the power of creativity and the ability to create beauty. And I'm defining beauty in a philosophic way. It's a way to take something that is just basic and plain, use something that you have available to change it to something that gives you meaning, right? Now, when you look at the definition of, you think about meaning doesn't mean that it's something great. Meaning can be something terrible. And so anyway, man, what this book is saying is that because of I'm not going to do this shit, man. Fuck it. I don't want to think, man. I take boxing. I listen to boxing so I don't have to think. I do boxing. I like boxing conversations because I don't have to think. Whole brain is needed. Left and right is balanced. Absolutely. Guys Boxing Corner said, nah, go ahead. All right, man. I'll go. Fuck it. Whatever. Here's the thing. All right. So you have left brain. This is generally how it's looked at and talked about in science. You have your left side of your brain. What's my left? Left side of your brain physically controls the right side of your body. Your right side of your brain controls the left side of your body. The right side of right side of your brain, or the left side of your brain, which controls the right side of your body, is also related to very analytical things, like fact-based things, right? It's a person that is heavily like intelligence IQ tests. They test your right side of your brain. They test the right side of your brain. Or functions that are commonly associated with the right side of your brain. So they want to know how fast you can add something up, how fast you can read, how quickly you can read and recall things, right? Those type of things. So that's why people say scientists have these gigantic IQs, intelligence quotients. The right side of the brain, however, is generally associated with creativity. Musicians, artists, dancers, poets, people that generally like to synthesize large amounts of information and see the forest for the trees. So to make it most simple, the right side of your brain or the left side of your brain would count all the leaves on the tree and remember all of the names of the animals in the forest. The other side of your brain will see the forest and how the forest relates to the ecology of the world and whether it's not, and it aggregates all those little facts that the other side keeps track of and creates a big picture. So what you find is that you have, because of the educational system in the United States and throughout the world, the right side of the brain is glorified. They want to know how fast can you add numbers, how well can you do these repeatable steps, right? And basically, that type of thing, your SAT test, your ACT test, and all that shit. But it doesn't take into consideration at all how do you have interpersonal relationships, right? How do you know how to walk into a room and talk to somebody, make friends with people in the room, create an environment in the room where people like you? How do you make people laugh, right? And because that's like that's what you would call, or these corny ass people are starting to refer to as intelligence. I mean, is emotional intelligence. So you have IQ and you have emotional intelligence. But anyway, man, when I was listening to the conversation about the music, I thought, man, all of that stuff is extremely, extremely right-brained. It's where the economy is moving. And it's just such a shame that more than likely the people who have been fostering the most development in that particular area in their life are not going to be able to take advantage of that shift. And I don't want to get into why, and I'm talking about in the business world, there's a shift. A business world, there's a shift. Because doctors, well, let me put it this way. I'll use lawyers, accountants, and computer programs. All that shit's going to go over there to India, going to China, because it costs less money for companies to pay for it. So what are the people in the United States going to do if all of those left brain activities leave the country because of the globalization of the economy? What are they going to do? Well, they're going to have to get involved in right brain activities, which are very high touch and very conceptual, and something that you have to be close to somebody to do, right? And it's just kind of sad. So anyway, man, that's why if you're like, man, why are you kind of down? I'm not down, but it's like you see the world is just kind of fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of fucked up because we know who people are that are already been forced into thinking that way. You know that rap, I will quote a rap song real quick. I see my man 78 in the building. Remember that song said, if you either smoking crack, either selling crack rock, or you got a wicked jump shot. It's sung by a rapper, Biggie Smalls. But pretty much, you can't sell crack from China. That's high touch. You have to be in the neighborhoods doing that. You can't, in order to have a basketball game somewhere where you can see somebody, where you can't outsource American basketball to China, even though they're trying. And like Bob Arum is about to try to take American fighters over there to the UK because he can't sell no tickets here. Yeah, I mean, it is, man. I agree 100%. Let me get to my man 78. He said, music evokes emotion, good or bad. Thousands of years, people have used music to connect to the heavens and the hell. Absolutely. It is. And the thing is, it's your interpretation. I could listen to the same thing about it. You know what I thought when I heard about it? I thought, shit, I'm about to read property law, and I'm gonna figure this shit because I'm about it. That's even to hear people talk about it like it had something to do with guns was odd to me, because I remember the song and I was like, yeah, I'm about it. I'm about to figure this shit out. I'm about to figure shit out. Yeah, man, we about to sell, in the business that we're in. Yeah, man, we're gonna make this company fly because I'm totally dedicated to what it is that I'm doing. You know what I mean? So it's just even the interpretation of music, and that's why for years I went without listening to it, because I was like, man, I don't want sound. Mathematics encased in sound, or sound. I don't know. I would explain the relationship between sound and mathematics, but I don't want this formula to lead my emotions in one direction or the other direction, because that's the essence of what they refer to as sorcery. Really is. You should read this book, man. This book is very, very interesting. It's insulting, but it's very interesting at the same time, because they talk about the necessity for story. 78 Sports TV is very, man, he's very insightful in that particular area and the need to tell story. And how so many years people would think that like African civilizations were so backwards because they didn't have a written language. What they had was they communicated their history, they communicated their stories. I mean, they communicated the information that they needed people to know through story, versus having it being a very cut and dry, completely analytical endeavor, right? Or if for lack of a better words. But the way that people are beginning to understand it is that stories are actually how the brain works. And I said in the video that I haven't uploaded today, but there's a saying that I think encapsulates it. On Monday, this is the right brain, left brain thing, or left brain, right brain thing. Here's two stories. One is going to give you the facts, and the other is going to give you the story. On Monday, Ann died. On Tuesday, her husband Jim died. Right? You got it. Ann and Jim are a married couple. On Monday, Ann died. On Tuesday, Jim died. Those are the facts. Now here's the context in this. Here is the right brain side of it. On Monday, Ann died. On Tuesday, Jim died of a broken heart. Just providing those words of a broken heart now fills in so many gaps about the relationship between Ann and Jim that you would never get just looking purely at the facts. Which is why I think in as we switch on these conversations about you worthless fucking boxing channels, your facts don't mean shit without context. Women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie, but men and women lie with numbers all of the time. And salute to you, man. And the stories that you guys tell, they know, and the shit you're pitching about Tyson Fury being the lineal champion, about who's the pound for pound champion, because you want to look at all of their little individual facts and statistics and compare certain portions of the stats and to somebody else's stats, and that shit does not tell the story. The fact is, Deontay Wilder crumpled these dudes. Anyway, that's where my head is at today, man. Gangster rap isn't needed in our community. I don't know what gangster rap is, man. I think that shit's a phrase that people use for a certain subject matters that were being carried. Say, what's going on? The Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. What's good, Fanon? I'm loving your channel, and I'm only 14 away from 300. Wanted to show my appreciations. Much love, Professor Fanon, dog. I ain't no professor. I'm my mom. I'm my mama's son. But I appreciate you, man. Please subscribe to Mahari Nation Podcast so y'all can enjoy. Anyway, man. So what it is. Nassim the Dream, same guy got blocked by UK channels. Who was that? You talking about that dude, Ahmed? I don't even mind skipping. Low vibrations turn into matter. They do. Shit slows down. There's a lot of really interesting stories about the early worship of fire that lay that out. Very, very interesting stuff, man. Real interesting stuff. Wilder should be number one pound for pound, in my opinion. He's just number one. Pound for pound is a comparison, man. Pound for pound is a comparison. You're saying, well, I'm going to take this in consideration with this, and it makes the whole thing subjective. It's just the practical way that pound for pound is used is for people to sell fighters that they want you to buy, and to give them artificial credit that they could not earn in reality. That's what they're doing. And I don't care who it is. I get brought into the conversation, the pound for pound conversation. And the more we have pound for pound conversations, the longer they go on, the more time it is established as a real conversation in the sport of boxing, the more real it seems. But at its core, it is complete and utter fantasy. There's no such thing, true thing as pound for pound. Put the guys in the ring. Put the guys in the ring. That's the only way that you should be able to determine who the better fighter is. Put this guy in the ring against that guy in the ring, and then you can figure out who the best fighter is based on their merits, and the merit being who wins that fight. And you can't take all subjectivity out of it because you have to have judges in case there's not a knockout. But in the way that what's going on, man? What's going on, Renee Box Young? What's the name of that book? The Whole New Mind. And if you have young kids and you're trying to educate young kids about what direction they should go with their education, excellent, excellent book. It's called A Whole New Mind, Why Right-Brainers Will Rule the Future. Excellent book. I mean, I'm enjoying it. My wife, who is a professor, and I'm telling you, I couldn't be. The reason I say I can't be a professor, my wife is a professor. I can't do that. I can't do that, man. For now, you heard Loaded Lux featuring Deontay Wilder to this day. Wilder, don't know. I'm sure maybe he does, but I don't know. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, the pound for pound thing, man, it's all a bunch of crap, man. I'm just watching all the news. You know how it goes, man. The more I've been doing, what's Trill Boxing Talk 300 shows? If Trill Boxing Talk did 300 shows in last year, then I'm at 300, right? Because I've done a show every time, every Trill Boxing Talk for a year. I've come on right after Trill Boxing Talk, and then I do my videos in the mornings, and I do my video, and and then I post them. So you wind up being able to see. Obviously you can't see this, but I have like my news now. I have a News Now feed. I got World Boxing News here. I got Boxing Scene. I'll also go check out Seconds Out. I'll go check out, Fight Hype. The interviews Blue Blood does. I'll check out Blue Blood. I'll check out all these different sites, man. And now that I've been doing this for several years, I'm starting to see the same pattern repeat itself. So right now, this week, the boxing media is in the midst of pushing the Tyson Fury narrative and trying to create a sense of excitement around one of the most trash mismatch fight. It's a trash fight. A trash fight for a fucking imagined belt that a trash fight that nobody asked for an imaginary title, and it's for a guy that ducked and got a draw. It's Bob Arum's promotional magic at its finest. Bob Arum is earning every penny of the cut of the money he's getting out of Tyson Fury. Every penny. Because the only thing spectacular that I've seen about this bullshit fight has been Bob Arum's performance with the media. Pitching a phony lineal title, that shit is phony. It's phony. And it doesn't take 15 minutes on BoxRec and Wikipedia to know it's phony, if you just desire to do so. Hey, man, much love to Robinson and that Cash App, man. I appreciate you, my man. Trying to look for the black one. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, man. I appreciate you, man. It's an utter piece of crap. And I've still been in a bad mood. Listening to this because now I have more context. J.A., all people have to do is look at the requirements to become a lineal champion. Jay Dixon, let me tell you this. It's a myth. There is no requirements to be a lineal champion. The word lineal means a line. It is supposed to be the man that beat the man. And Ring Magazine has said that they were going to implement a Ring Magazine champion so that they could approximate. See, you guys know what I do for a living. Approximate is a shit word. What do you mean you're going to approximate it? Approximate it? You mean almost, kind of, could be, but not quite, roughly, close to, not exact? Is that what you mean by approximate? You mean it's not the lineal champion. That's how that works functionally in my mind when I say, I'll pay you approximately $10. I'll be there. Approximately is super fuzzy, but regardless. Vladimir Klitschko never fought Lennox Lewis. Never fought him. There's no line between the two. What they're saying is that they started a new line. That when the number one and number two heavyweights in the world fought, that there became a new line. And that new line started with Vladimir Klitschko. That is the functional interpretation of what they're saying. Because Lennox Lewis never fought Vladimir Klitschko. And Lennox Lewis retired 4 years before Vladimir Klitschko and Ruslan Shagayev fought one another. So how can that be a line? How is that a straight line? If it ain't a straight line, that's for damn sure. A dotted line, a big ass dot in line. But why is Ruslan Shagayev the number two guy? Why would Ruslan Shagayev be the number two guy? Why not Vitaly Klitschko? Vitaly Klitschko was active at the time. Vitaly Klitschko was active, and he was the WBC champion. Why wouldn't Vitaly Klitschko be the number two rated? Vlad never had the WBC title. No, it doesn't even matter whether he had it or not. But why wouldn't, if they're saying Ruslan Shagayev and Vladimir Klitschko were the number one and number two, give me the reason why Vitaly Klitschko wasn't the number two? Jesse Kumba, I think I did it. I think I gave it earlier in the chat. The reason why he's not is because they were giving him an excuse. It was his brother. So they're like, but the brother, why brothers come into play in that? Why does he get a special exemption? Why does Ruslan show, and who was it that decided that they couldn't fight? That's not meritorious. And it's not, and championships shouldn't be democratic. They should be purely meritorious. Just got in late. What did Jacobs do to Rozier? He dumped him over money. Wouldn't pay him his money. Got a big check from DAZN and cut him. Hey, I don't want to pay you all that money. No. I don't want to pay you. Yeah, I know I'm supposed to pay you 10%, but no. Not going to do it. You don't deserve 10%. You don't deserve $1 million. I deserve that. You don't deserve the $10 million. I deserve half of what I agreed to pay you. Anyway, man. Yeah, man, it's just, look, but it doesn't matter whether or not that's just your objective opinion. Say I believe that he shouldn't. I understand that he shouldn't fight his brother. Those guys are heavyweights, man. You don't want to kill your brother. You know, there should be some. I mean, these are heavyweights. He could kill his brother. And I see that it's very reasonable. I think that it's very reasonable. No, I think they're talking about Derlin James. I think they're talking about the fight with Canelo. He got he's supposed to have gotten 10 million. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no word, Jesse Kumba. It's all good, man. It's called lost it again, man. The Whole New Mind. A Whole New Mind. And I don't see. I just got this for only from Audible because I'm listening to it on Audible. Yep, there you go. A Whole New Mind. Very good read, man. Definitely check it out, man. If you got kids, I think you should check that out. Family more important than anything. Yeah, man. I don't think the dude should have had to fight his brother, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. You know, so what? Yeah, I understand. There's a reason I'm not a lineal championship. I'm not a lineal champion too. Okay. The reason Vladimir Klitschko and Vitaly Klitschko couldn't fight is a valid reason. Same reason why I can't fight Anthony Joshua, because I get killed. Are you going to give me a special belt because I can't fight? Any other justifications you'd like to give people special belts for? And fuck Ring Magazine. And I'll say that too, because these guys are sitting there trying to pawn off this idea. This clown from Ring Magazine trying to pawn off the idea that they're a better judge of who the champion should be. What? Let's get this right. We need to replace a system that doesn't work with a fucking worse system. If we're going to replace a system, tell me why your system's better. Oh, well, you know, we don't have, we're not paid for play with judges. You're not paid for pay. You're not paid for, you sure you're not paid for play? You sure? Because who pays you? Oscar De La Hoya pays you. So what if Oscar De La Hoya doesn't like who you name champion and says, you know what? Fire Joe Blow because I don't like how he voted. That's a distinct possibility when you put a privately held organization like Ring Magazine in charge of naming champions. Man, the Ring Magazine belt, for me, it means nothing. There are a bunch of guys that sit around in a room talking about boxing and share their opinions. Me, Drew Titan, Kane the Bad Guy, Bert from Artican, Fahim Sator, St. Cruzin, and CMJ Dog, we could all get together and decide who we think the pound for pound guy is. How is that any different from what Ring does? Because the guy's got journalism degrees? Because you got a journalism degree? How the hell does your journalism degree, because you know how many periods go into an ellipse, make you be able to decide which fighter is better than who? Because you have a democratic process? That's what they're arguing. We have a democratic process. Dog, boxing ain't democratic. It's meritorious. It's you beat him. Whoever wins, wins. Democracy means that everybody gets a vote, and whoever is most popular amongst the people that vote wins. That's not boxing. There's nothing democratic about boxing, about a boxing ring. It's meritorious. You get rewarded for what you actually do, not for whether or not somebody likes what you did or not. I listened to this dude. I was like, I won't say his name, man, but fuck y'all. For real. Because you guys irritate me, man. You're not that smart, man. You're not that good. You're not that good. Just because you speak clearly, just because you say ignorant things clearly and in the King's English, doesn't make what you say any less stupid. If the most eloquent person in the world looked up at the sky and said, I do believe that the sun will not come out today. There is a cloud over the top and there is no sun behind that. And somebody comes and says something, nah, motherfucker, you stupid as fuck. That motherfucking, that fucking hot ass ball right behind that motherfucker. As soon as that shit move, we gonna burn your dumb ass up. Okay, one person says something in the King's English that sounded intelligent. The other guy said the shit in casual speak. The one that said something that was intelligent was a fucking moron, and this guy was right. I don't care how pretty you write. If your conclusion and your argument is fucking foolish. Your Ring magazines putting Tyson Fury as their number one heavyweight is foolish. There is not a reason in the world to have done it. He got a draw against Deontay Wilder, and he has not beaten a top-tier fighter in almost 5 years. Why him? It makes no sense that the guy who's been undefeated, that has 40 knockouts, that drew with him, that was ranked higher than him before the fight began, should be jumped over because you scored more rounds for that guy, for Tyson Fury, than you scored for Deontay Wilder? Do you know the rules of boxing? The number one rule is, that I'm referring to anyway, is that the judges decide who wins. That's a rule in boxing. The rule, they want to talk about all kind of rules about effective aggressiveness and, how many minutes the rounds are, and it's a 10-point must system, and there's a referee, and, he gives 10 seconds. One of the rules in boxing is that the judges get to decide the winner, not the press. So you violate a rule of boxing, and because you guys as a democracy decide that Tyson Fury, although he got put on his backside, didn't win, has not beaten a top 10 opponent in 5 years, has no logical claim whatsoever to a lineal championship, you push it, and you don't think it maybe have something to do with the fact that Bob Arum or Frank Warren or some of these promoters are giving access to their fighters, which allow you to put their quotes in your magazine so you can get paid on the ad revenue that you get from your subscription revenue, ad revenue, whatever you get that allows you to eat and pay for your computer, but you're just going to act it like it's just because you're for the love of boxing. Fuck out of here, man. Anyway, I got that off my chest. Look, James Dorsey, what is, I don't even have to go there, because that right there, that's overkill. You look at the fact that what they're saying makes no sense, or makes very little sense. I'll put it that way. Or that there's just as plausible, that there are explanations and conclusions that you can draw that are just as plausible. Okay? Just as plausible. Hey, ever said, Fanon, you got to stop letting these facts get in the way of a good story. You know how that works. My facts are going to get in the way of your good story. There's a thing, casuals. The thing here is casuals, which are the majority, get carried away with the stupidity of hyping up boxers who haven't deserved it. Now, here's the thing, man. Well, I'll differentiate that. I'll tell that a little bit differently, Renee Boxing. The more people say something, the more people think it's true. The more people say things, the more time it's said, the more times people think that it's true. I don't belittle anybody for believing Tyson Fury's a lineal champion because they keep saying it so much that you might believe it. But if you just look at it and you say, well, who was the last lineal champion before that? It was Vladimir Klitschko. Well, why is Tyson Fury the lineal champion? Oh, because he beat Tyson Fury. Okay, that makes sense. He beat Tyson Fury. Who did Vladimir Klitschko beat to be the lineal champion? He beat Ruslan Shagayev. Okay, who did Ruslan Shagayev beat to be the lineal champion? Oh, he was never the lineal champion. Hold on, man. Stop. Let me go through this again. Are you telling me that Tyson Fury is the lineal champion, right? Because he's in a line from him to John L. Sullivan, right? Yes, that's what I'm telling you. It's a line of champions to Fanon, like Fury, won 10 rounds, man. He didn't win no fucking 10 rounds. He got a draw. You don't win rounds, you win a fight. You score rounds, you win a fight. But regardless, his ass is not the WBC champion, and that is an objective fact. All of that other stuff, you can talk about whoever you think you would have scored for, but he didn't win the fight. It was a draw. Only one of the three judges gave the fight to Tyson Fury. One called it a draw. One gave it to Deontay Wilder. And that's the facts. Those are the facts. But regardless, let's go back to this lineal champion crap. You're telling me that a lineal champion, Tyson Fury said, I've got a line of champions all the way back to John L. Sullivan. John L. Sullivan held this belt. What? Oh, did he? Really? Let's go through your line then. Let's just go through your line. We got you to Vladimir Klitschko. Check. Who did Vladimir Klitschko get it from? He got it from Ruslan Shagayev. Who did Ruslan Shagayev get it from? He never had it. Well, then who had it before Vladimir Klitschko? Lennox Lewis. Did Lennox Lewis fight Vladimir Klitschko? No. So let me see. Lineal is the man that beat the man. And you're saying that Tyson Fury beat the man who was Vladimir Klitschko. But Vladimir Klitschko beat Ruslan Shagayev. But Ruslan Shagayev wasn't the man. Lennox Lewis was the man. How did he become lineal if he didn't beat Lennox Lewis? Well, what happened was Ring Magazine decided that they were going to put their title on the line. What's Ring Magazine? Oh, Ring Magazine is a boxing magazine. A boxing magazine? Like the National Enquirer is a magazine? Like Time magazine? Like ESPN magazine? Like Hustler magazine? Like them type of magazines? Yeah, a magazine. But, okay, so the magazine wrote an article and said they thought that Tyson Fury, that Ruslan Shagayev was their second favorite heavyweight? Yeah. Ring Magazine really liked Vladimir Klitschko, and they thought Ruslan Shagayev was really good. And so they fought. When they fought, Ring Magazine gave them their title. Okay, but what does Ring Magazine have to do with John L. Sullivan? Oh, nothing. Nothing? I'm confused. How is the lineal champion? And here comes somebody with common sense in here. Boop, 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 into the room. Let me help you here. He's not the lineal champion. There is no line between Vladimir Klitschko and Lennox Lewis. There is none. Basically, Ring Magazine wanted to sell articles, and Vladimir Klitschko, and so when they came, they, just like any other sanctioning body, just like when, the WBC wants to give somebody, a ceramic belt that they're really not fighting for. They're like, you're fighting in the middle of September with a Mexican holiday. Can I give you this pretty little belt? Will you take it and put it in your closet? And the guy says, oh, you're going to give me a free belt? Oh, that's pretty. That's cool. No worries. Here, I'll put it in my closet. That's what they did. And then the media ran with it. And now they're saying that he's the lineal champion. So he's only one of two things can happen. He's either not the lineal champion, if you're talking about a line from John L. Sullivan, or they just started a new line that started with Vladimir Klitschko. So when he's saying that he's the lineal champion, all he's really saying is he beat Vladimir Klitschko. Something we already knew. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Okay? That's what Gene Tunney vacated too. Okay? You can say that was broken there too, but there was only one champion after Gene Tunney. There was only one champion after Gene Tunney. There weren't four champions after Gene Tunney. After Lennox Lewis retired, there was another champion. called Vitaly Klitschko, who actually won the belt that was held by Lennox Lewis. And he also beat a guy that took Vladimir Klitschko's belt. Let's not forget this. Vladimir Klitschko lost to Corey. He was the WBO champion at the same time Lennox Lewis was the champion. Lennox Lewis was the man, not Vladimir Klitschko. Did anybody ever say Vladimir Klitschko was the man, not Lennox Lewis? Of course not. Because Lennox Lewis had beaten Evander Holyfield, who had beaten Riddick Bowe, who had beaten Evander Holyfield, who had beaten James Buster Douglas, who had beaten Mike Tyson, who had beaten Mike Spinks, who had beaten Larry Holmes, who had beaten Ali, who had beaten Foreman, who had beaten Frazier, who had beaten Ali, who had beaten Liston, who had beaten Patterson, who had beaten Ingemar Hansen, who had beaten Floyd Patterson, who had beaten whoever the fuck it was, who I do believe was the guy that took over after Rocky Marciano retired, who took over after Gene Tunney retired, who had beaten Jack Dempsey. Oh no, after Joe Louis had. Oh yeah, actually after Rocky Marciano retired, who took that after he had beaten Joe Louis, who retired without a defeat, who had gotten it from Max Schmeling, who got it from, I do believe, James Bear, who got it from blah, 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 blah. Dempsey to Dempsey. I forgot the Tunney to Dempsey. You get my point. That's the line. And Tyson Fury's not in it, dude. That's the line. And Tyson Fury's not in it. He's over there. You got a line to a store trying to get McDonald's. His ass is across the street over there in Burger King. And Ring Magazine and ESPN and Bob Arum want you to look over the Burger King line when the real line is over here at McDonald's. And if there's anybody that had a claim to taking over the title of after the retirement of Lennox Lewis, it would have been the one guy who beat the other champion, who beat the guy that beat Vladimir Klitschko, right? Vladimir Klitschko, they have common opponents. Vitaly Klitschko and Vladimir Klitschko couldn't fight each other, but they got a common opponent. And Corey Sanders, rest in peace. Vladimir Klitschko was a WBO champion. He got knocked out by Corey Sanders. Corey Sanders vacated. But it's not about the belts. It's about who he beat. Corey Sanders beat Vladimir Klitschko. He beat Vladimir Klitschko. Then he fought Vitaly Klitschko. And Vitaly Klitschko beat him for the belt that the lineal champion held. So Vitaly Klitschko has connections to both Lennox Lewis and Vitaly Klitschko. They're just making stuff up so they can sell. And they're doing it at the expense of fighters that have done it through merit. And that's why I say boxing should be, it's meritorious. It's not democratic. The ESPN's polls for pound is crap. That's a democratic process. It's not a meritorious process. Don't confuse government with sports. When somebody's fighting, when you're just take a sport where there is no doubt who's going to win or lose, right? You just say, all right, rock, paper, scissors, and you don't cheat. Rock, paper, scissors. 1, 2, 3, this. I do scissors, you do paper, paper cuts, scissors cut paper, I win. You son of a guns around the block don't get to vote on whether you liked what my scissors look like and whether you like what my paper looked like better. And be like, well, the paper that's extra thick paper, and those are some really dull scissors. So really, I really like the paper over the scissors. That's the shit that they do in this pound for pound conversation crap. The fact of the matter is, dude, you guys are getting together with a poll of all these different people and voting on who you think the best is. That's democratic. That's ruled by popular opinion. That is the exact opposite of what sports is about. Sports is about who beats who. And it's not your opinion who beat who. It's those two get into the ring, and between the two of them, they decide who the better fighter is. Not Dan Rayfield. Well, we've got all these esteemed journalism majors from the University of Oxford, and we have another one from the University of Columbia in, Missouri School of Journalism in Columbia, and we have another one from Yale, and we have another one from LSU, and we have been long-standing watchers of fighters, and we all have our vote, and we all get together and decide who the best is. That is not sports, dude. That is running for city council. Okay? You do that when you're running for city council, where everybody has a vote because it affects everybody's lives. And the power of government is given from the people to the government, and the government represents the people. So in exchange for the government having certain powers and limitations of rights over individuals, the person allows them to represent them in a representative democracy. That's what that is, dumbass. That is democracy. Boxing is not democracy. Boxing is meritorious. Boxing is about what you do. And the only people that have any interest in the say-so of that fight are the two fighters and the three judges that they agreed to judge that fight. So even Tyson Fury saying he's pissed off at the judges is disrespectful to the process that he agreed to. He said, I will agree. I will fight you under these rules, and I will respect the judges. And if I can't knock you out and you can't knock me out, then I will respect the judge's outcome. That, when Tyson Fury complains about the outcome of judges, that is Tyson Fury being a poor sport and not wanting to live up to the agreement that he made with Deontay Wilder to fight to begin with. Hey, thanks, Ricky Williams. That's what I mean. I'm listening to these Ring Magazine dudes, and they're talking like you're not morons. Like you don't think anybody can see that you're full of it. You are trying to apply a democratic process to something that is not democratic. And just because people's minds shift towards democracy being the way that it's a system of government or a political party in the United States. Nothing about sports should be democratic. Nothing. It's meritorious. If you are the best based on these objective standards, then you win and you get acknowledged, which is what you're doing. What you're doing to Deontay Wilder is removing his meritorious recognition, his recognition that he earned in the ring, and you're taking it away from a fake ass closed closet door democratic process that doesn't mean shit. Deontay Wilder has won 10. He has defended a major championship belt 9 times. He is 40-0-1. Tyson Fury has never defended a championship belt in his life. He got suspended for performance-enhancing drugs. He threw his belt in the trash. And he got a draw. And you somehow, because you have a democratic process, want to take away what Deontay Wilder actually earned. Deontay Wilder was a champion before Tyson Fury was a champion. And he's been a champion to this day. But somehow in your democratic process, you don't take that into consideration because your democratic process is about popularity. It's not about merit. And it's proven in other applications of a democratic voting system where you get people that get elected to office that have absolutely no experience doing or with what they're actually being asked to govern. That's how you get game show hosts as presidents. Shame on you. Stop stealing from people because you got an opinion. And acting as if your opinion means more than anybody else's does. No. Tunnel vision is about popularity within the board of Ring Magazine. That's what it is. That's what a vote is. Vote about who you like the most. ESPN magazine, for their pound for pound goal, their pound for pound list, have a bunch of people that they give ballots to. And they say, tell me who you think is the best. Out of these people, I put on these ballots. And they collect them, and then they tally them, and they say, based on this poll, popularity contest, a poll is which the populace, right? Population, the population of the people that they give the poll to, who voted for what. And it is a whoever gets the most wins. And whoever else, Luke. So Vasily Lomachenko won ESPN's boxing writers popularity contest. I might be, obviously I'm using a word that is not flattering, but it is accurate. It is a popularity contest. It is a poll. Like if we said, who's the most popular on, hey, who's the most popular YouTuber in boxing? Is it Black Fight Fan TV? Is it Barbershop Conversations? Is it 78 Sports TV? Is it BFTB? Who is it? You vote on my poll. And then you click the button and it comes out that 78 Sports TV wins in a landslide. He is vote for vote the most popular YouTube boxing channel. Yay. That's a popularity contest. That's what it is. And that's what Bring Magazine is proposing. We should get rid of judges. We should get rid of judges. We should get rid of any objective measure from the sanctioning bodies. We should just trust them in their fucking popularity contest. Ricky Williams, kill them all for media has nothing to do with the results of competition. They want to color the truth, to swing the pork. Now, see, look, here's my thing, man. I'm going to lay out I'm going to lay out what it is. I'll leave it up to you why they think something's more popular. They could like guys who fight at flyweight more than they like heavyweights. Like a certain guy said, I just don't really like the heavyweights that much. He don't like the heavyweights. So in his popularity contest, he's gonna rank the heavyweights lower. One guy might like, vote for vote champion. That's what it is. It's just crap, man. And just look at it for what it is. I'm not getting paid by y'all. I'm not getting paid by you. But if you want to insult my intelligence, I will put my fucking intelligence on full fucking display. And then we'll see whether or not I touch a couple gems of truth on you. I might be dumb, but I ain't wrong. Max was never credible. Max Kellerman just rode the coattails of Pernell Whitaker till he got in the door. Max Kellerman ain't any different to black fighters than Daniel Jacobs is, according to what I hear, than Daniel Jacobs is to Daniel Jacobs. He rode the name in the interviews that he got with Pernell Whitaker, who was the number one pound for pound fighter in the world at the time. And he gave a bunch of public interviews. But as soon as he got in the door, all of a sudden he went right with the rest of the good old boys. Rest of the good old boys that are in the room with him. That's why you need to be careful who you drag in the room with you. Exactly, BFT. Fuck what them clowns like. Get in the ring and prove it. And I'm waiting on Tyson Fury to fight somebody for real. Deontay Wilder has fought multiple people for real. Tyson Fury is fighting Otto Wallen, Tom Schwartz, Sefi Safiri, and Panetta. And somehow in this popularity contract tag, they don't think that that's important. Who you fought isn't important in this within the last year. And look at the newest one they put in here, man. Listen to the newest one they put in here. There was something that they put out. This somebody in the media. This ain't Ring. Ring wouldn't sink this low. They talk about how Tyson Fury has defended the lineal title more times in a year than even the great Muhammad Ali. They handed Tyson Fury a record of defenses of the lineal title over Muhammad Ali. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Y'all sink to new lows every day. Sefi Safiri, they're counting Deontay Wilder as a successful title defense for Tyson Fury. Bum matchups with Sefi Safiri, Pineda, Otto Wallen, and Tom Schwartz is some record-breaking streak of title defenses. You can't make it up, dude. You can't make it up, dude. Yeah, exactly. Introducing 513, they need to stop. But they won't stop. They can't stop. Won't stop. Because they can't stop. Because I get paid for it. Well, let me tell you for sure, man. I can't. I think it might have been on. I don't want to misquote somebody. So I have to look. But trust me, the shit's out there. Just look. And man, I might have seen it on Twitter. Might have come across Twitter. Might have come across on Twitter. But it was somebody reputable. He's defending a title that doesn't even exist. He's defining something that doesn't even exist, man. But hey, man, I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt and not like really lay into it until they try to take, man. But Tyson Fury just talking too much, man. There's like 900 articles about what this guy has to say over the last 3 days, man, of like every 5 minutes an article about Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury. Dude, I do a video about Tyson Fury. I get 1,000 views on a video about Tyson Fury. Whenever I do Tyson Fury videos, I feel like I'm dedicating my time. I'm donating my time to society. But you know what? I really want to talk about this subject. So fuck it. Here we go. For real, I lose money. For real. My hourly rate at my job, knowing it takes about that much time to do a Tyson Fury video, I am literally paying YouTube to make a video about Tyson Fury, dog. Y'all, man, my God, man. I'm just trying to minimize my losses when I be doing shit like that. Like, man, I know I should probably try to bill a client, but I'm really sick of what I'm doing, and I'll talk boxing. So, no, man, the Mexican thing, man, that's the Mexicans' fault. Hey, to my Mexican brothers out there, dog. My Mexican brothers, that's y'all fault. Y'all keep letting them do slide. Y'all keep letting them do slide on that, dog. That ain't right, man. Tyson Fury needed to know in no uncertain terms, you do that shit again, don't come back to Las Vegas. Don't come back to Las Vegas. They just disrespecting the shit out of y'all, man. Like Gennady Golovkin, Mexican style. What? Man. These cats be like, black man style. Man, people, if Lomachenko ever jumped out there and said, I fight black man style. I fight black style. I fight like a black boy. Man, cats will be hot. Dudes will be, what did you say? You say you fight like a black boy. That's what Gennady Golovkin said 1,000 times. Mexican style. What is Mexican style? Which Mexican style? Are you talking about Salvador Sanchez? You talking about Johnny Gonzalez? Are you talking about Canelo Alvarez? Which one of these are you talking about? Which style is this? Are you talking about Juan Manuel Marquez? You talking about Rocky Juarez? Or are you talking about Andy Ruiz? Which one of these styles is Mexican? Because they got a bunch of them, dog. They got a bunch of them. You talking about Jose Luis Castillo? Or are you talking about half Mexican style Diego Corrales? Which one? Man, come on, man. What's going on, big ticket 201230? I hope that's the real big ticket. Oh, no, that's big ticket. Okay, man, shout out to you, man. Anyway, you know how it is. But I ain't going to point out the obvious, man. I'm going to let these cats claim that they know my justification. There, yes, absolutely, man. R.I.P. Chico, man. Do you think Charlotte Porter can bully Errol Spence in the inside? I think you mean. No. I think he'll try. I think he can get dirty. Bully, I don't think so. Because Errol throws punches in a very tight. He has to bully in here. He holds out like this. Like Charlotte Porter's arms are out here. They're not up in here. Errol's going to have his shit pinned like this, which means yak. You know? Yak. Exactly, Tom. Exactly, dude. What's Sonata Media in here? I ain't seen Sonata Media in a minute. What's good, man? What's good? Stay exactly, man. It's just so ridiculous that they would do, man. Anyway, you know, it is what it is. But look, man, I'm running over. Much love to everybody in the super chat. Much love to everybody in the chat. We'll be back on Sunday for OG Boxing Talk. Definitely look forward to seeing you there. Please, yeah, I went off on one a little bit today, man. But yeah, somebody asked me why I was in a somber mood. It's, you know, man, I just want, you know, because in the end of the day, you're powerless, man. You know what I mean? But we don't have to be powerless. Let me continue on with this for a second. But not in boxing. You know, like, all right, man, all these, you know, people familiar with Neely Fuller Jr. will know what I'm talking about when I say this. There's many areas of human activity, man. There's all kind of places in the world we got to take that it's very hard for us not to take the crap and not to take crap. And boxing shouldn't be one. Boxing is somewhere that where it's just so clear that these guys are the best, that these guys consistently put out the best fighters, man. No. Yeah. War, you gotta take an L. Sex, we take major L's. Education, major L's. But the one area that people are actually encouraged to participate in, that left brain activity, entertainment, there's no reason to take an L, man. There's no reason to let these people, to let clowns, third-rate journalists that couldn't get a job covering football, they couldn't get a job covering soccer and football, to allow these dudes to steal the recognition that was earned on merit, and make it some democratic process by which they get to tell people who the best is. That's theft. And you don't have to take it in boxing. You don't have to do it in boxing, because in the United States, don't nobody care enough about boxing where they're going to step in and tell you any different. Look, man, when these guys do these pound for pound competitions, these pound for pound popularity contests, when they do these lineal fantasies, Ring magazine lists, they are substituting accomplishments that are based on merit with popularity context in which they get to decide who votes. That's what they're doing. They're stealing something that is owned by and should be decided by two people and giving it over to a group of their peers that they decide to talk to, and trying to use that as the measure by which for people to be rewarded. It is intellectual theft. Oh, yeah, man. Don't worry, man. Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens. I think personally, let me tell you something about that, man. I wouldn't have wasted my talent on being a journalist. I wouldn't have wasted my talent on being that type of journalist. If you're going to be a journalist, then participate in journalism, not promotion. What those journalists are doing is they are participating in fighter promotion. They are dealing with, these guys were former employees. I'll take this one guy, for example. The one that irritated me, and I don't get irritated a lot. I got irritated with this guy. A former employee of Frank Warren, a former employee of so a current employee of Oscar De La Hoya, who writes articles for The Ring, right? This guy's employed, last two jobs, was employed by promoters. The promoter was paying him to promote. He's not a journalist. He is an employee of a promoter. That is what everybody that gets a check from Ring Magazine is. They're an employee of a promoter. They're not engaged in the discipline of journalism. They're engaged in the discipline of promotion under the guise of journalism. That's what they're doing. And that's aside from all the other reasons why I would think that it's foolish that people would pay attention to an ESPN pound for pound list, or, man, just get out of here, man. And if you're going to do that, don't troll me. Don't troll me. Because I may be stupid, but I'm informed. And I will take somebody with a slightly challenged intelligence quotient who is very well informed over a genius with no information. And that is to the point that my man up there said that you need both. You need your right and your left hemisphere to be, you have one brain, one that deals with both. You know what I mean? Exactly, Narco. That's what they're doing. And everybody knows it. Well, not everybody knows it, but we do. Anyway, it is what it is. And with that, check out KQKC Boxing coming up next. Peace.